A lot of cards got knocked down from Series 4 to Series 3, so I wanted to kind of do this with the updated version for the current meta. I know a lot of people have done these in the past, and everyone's gonna have their own different opinion. You might disagree with something. This is just how I felt, but I also kind of talked with my chat. I think cards in S tier are definitely worth spending your collector's tokens on, but it matters what your personal collection is. It's hard to do these tier lists because some of the cards are only good if you have like another card that pairs with it, but I'll kind of go over my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoy this one. There are 81 cards. I'm not a collector's token advisor. All right. We did get some recent additions like Luke Cage, as well as Titania, Absorbing Man, and She-Hulk. I find that tier lists are actually quite difficult to do in this game because some cards are very good in the right situation, but they suck in other situations. We'll start the bar with an F tier. Quake. Quake is F tier. Quake is always bad. Quake is never good. Quake is trash. Crystal, F tier, terrible. Black Bolt, terrible, F tier. Human Torch, I'm tempted to put an F tier, but he might be E. Torch is played sometimes, but he's not in like a good deck, right? He's not in any solid deck. I'm gonna put E as like a fringe, maybe. Dagger is E as well. I think Dagger and Human Torch go in the same tier. They're exciting, but I think we need more move support. So Dagger and Human Torch, if you unbox these, you can have a little fun, but you're not gonna win too much. Black Cat is not very good. I would put Black Cat in E as well. You guys think Black Cat's good? I think Black Cat is not great. She's rarely ever played because you're down a card. When you have Black Cat, it's like you've just instead of drawing a card, you've done nothing. We're moving it. We're doing S to D. It's too many tiers. There's some bad cards. Like Green Goblin is a genuinely just good card, right? He's either A or B, and I might put him in B. He's not S tier. He's like bottom of A or top of B. So I'll put him in B. All right. I'm gonna go with these new cards. But Luke Cage, I feel like he's between a B and a C. But I think he's a C. He's a bit more situational and doesn't really see play at the moment. He's good with Hazmat, but it's not a top tier deck. So I might put Hazmat in the same boat as Luke Cage. And maybe we order these from left to right as what's worst. And I feel like it's like this. Black Bolt is least bad. I think Crystal's worse than Quake. Okay, there we go. He enables a few decks. A tier? You guys think it's B? You guys think Hazmat's B tier? I don't know. We can organize this as time goes on. Arrow is S tier. Arrow is busted. Arrow, I think, is one of the best cards in the game. Should we do some more S tiers? She-Hulk, S tier. Absolutely cracked. Can go in almost any list. This combo is insane on its own. You float turn 5, on turn 6, you arrow She-Hulk, and you win often. You think She-Hulk is not the same tier as Arrow? I think She-Hulk's S tier, but Arrow could be on her own tier, but we don't have that. You think She-Hulk's A? I think She-Hulk's still S. I think She-Hulk's S. Titania. Titania is an interesting card. A lot of people are like, oh, if you have a big enough brain, Titania's great. And I think they're just coping. I think she's all right. She's good if you zero her. She's good to clog up a board. I think she's between A and B. She's between A and D for sure, but I think she might be high B or low A. You guys are thinking A? All right, we'll put her in A. Absorbing Man is kind of cracked, I think, especially with Surfer and Spider-Man. I think with Absorbing Man now being in Pool 3 or Series 3, we're gonna see a lot more Absorbing Man. I think he's an A tier card. I don't think I think he's better than Titania. With Spider-Man, he's cracked. We're gonna see a lot of Absorbing Man. Also with Zabu, yeah, Zabu being around, Absorbing Man is insane. Without Zabu, he's kind of just all right. So if you have Zabu, I think Absorbing Man is top of A. If you don't, he might honestly be around B, but they go hand in hand. If you're pay to win, you bought the battle pass, congratulations if you have Absorbing Man. Dracula, I think Dracula's A tier. Better than Titania. Dracula can be really good for discarding stuff. There's so many different ways to play him. He's one of the best budget Pool 3 cards. I say that because he enables a lot of other decks. Stuff like Red Skull can just be discarded. Destroyer, discarded. She-Hulk even, discarded. He's great. He's great. Hard to counter, unshankable. One of the best. Better than Absorbing Man for sure on the A scale. Agatha? 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 Hello? Agatha. Agatha is bottom tier for sure. I have tried so many Agatha decks. She is just the worst card. D, if there was an F tier, I'd put her in there. So I think she's honestly the worst. Maximus would like to talk to you about Dracula. Maximus doesn't even know, man. Agatha tier. All right, new leader. What do we think about new leader? I have not played him much. I've only been or had him used against me when I play against Dara. He's probably one of the freshest cards we have, right? Aside from Shadow King. Dara says he's C. Green Goblin more versatile? Yeah. See, it's hard because like this is a versatile deck. You can kind of throw it in, or card. A versatile card, you can throw it in anywhere and it'll be all right. Bottom of B, top of C. I agree with that. Doom, I think Doom is A tier than Titania. Maybe even better than Absorbing Man. I like Doom a lot. I think it's hard to argue that Doom is worse or better than A. He's a solid card. You can slot him in almost any deck. If you're like, oh man, I just need a 12th card, Doom is generally fine. He can catch people off guard. He has a bit of a surprise factor, kind of like Arrow. Borderline S. I think he's fantastic. He's just fantastic, not S. He's not as busted as our other S tier cards. As we flesh this list out, I'm gonna move things around, but Adam Warlock might be D tier. But the thing is, if you play him in a Bast list, he's actually nuts. I love him in Cerebro, but maybe he's like top of D morning. B or A? I could see him being in C. I feel like he's too fringe to be B or A. He doesn't see enough play to be B or A. So maybe it's C because he's fringe. All right, C might just be a fringe. And then D is just trash. All right, next card. Red Skull, A tier or S tier? I think he's A tier. I think other cards make Red Skull S tier. Like if you're running Shuri, you want him up there. A, yeah, I feel like it's generally A. If you do have Shuri, he is correct. One of the best cards you can do. One of the best cards you can have with Shuri. You do Shuri, Red Skull for 30. You don't even care about the downside. You get -8, so he's 22 power, 2-card combo. Pretty dang good. And then you follow it up with Taskmaster. Where's Taskmaster? Taskmaster, also A tier. Taskmaster not as good without Red Skull, but when you do have Red Skull, these two are just busted. And even if you don't have Shuri, I've played several decks before I had Shuri where Red Skull into Task is just game winning. Plus, Taskmaster will copy Red Skull without giving you that ongoing effect, right? So doing something like Task or Red Skull into Taskmaster can be game winning generally. Shuri S tier. Shuri is S tier, but Shuri is not in Series 3. It's a Series 3 tier list. Cerebro. I like Cerebro a lot. I might be coping out of my mind, but I love Cerebro. He enables really good archetypes. I don't think he's S. He requires a lot of build around cards. I think he might be high B, so maybe I'll put him in high B. Because I think C2 is a very good deck, and I think C3 is very good as well, but I might be coping. S tier in my hands, S tier in our hearts. Cerebro 2 is good. Cerebro 3 is good. As more people get Valkyrie and figure this out, I think we'll be seeing more of him. Arnim Zola, A tier or S tier? A tier. Honestly, kind of crazy. I think I'm gonna drop Titania down. I'm dropping Titania down, by the way. After looking at these cards, I don't think Titania is in the same league as this row. I'll put her ahead of Goblin, but not ahead of Cerebro. I am biased, all right? This is my list. I'm allowed to be biased. Arnim is so good, especially in the Shuri list, which Shuri, again, is not on here, but something like Red Skull. Maybe if you cheat out Red Skull early and then you Task and you Arnim Zola. Worst card to get from Raft. Yeah, it's pretty bad to get from Raft, but this isn't a Raft tier list. Starting in C3, subbing in Bast paired with Falcon. Oh, that's interesting. Falcon. Oh, man, this is a long list. All right, we got to go fast. Brood, I think, is top of A with Silver Surfer. Brood is cracked, man. He might be S tier with Silver Surfer. He's also good with Cerebro 2. Might be S tier, man. I'm a little tempted to put Dracula in S tier as well. Praetor Surfer, I don't know. Maybe it's just top of A. Patriot, yeah, really good with Patriot, really good with C2. You climb easy once you unlock Brood. I mean, that's fair. He enables 3 different decks. Low S, okay, I'm fine with low S. We might change. Beast, I think is C. Beast is very fringe. Where on C? Maybe above Black Cat. Maybe this is better than Black Cat. Beast is B? You think Beast is B? I think Beast is absolutely B. You guys you think Beast is better than New Leader? I think C. He's good. Low A? What? You guys are coping. He's C. He's C tier. All right, on to the next card. Sarah is B. This is a good card. Sarah is great. Sarah is great. Sarah is B tier or A tier. She's either top of B or bottom of A. You guys are thinking A? Bottom of A? I feel like I see a lot less Sarah lately in higher ranks. Better than Absorbing? That's fair. Okay, we'll put it top of A. above Absorbing Man. You see Sarah come down, you clench. I don't clench that hard. I think Sarah's good, but I don't think she's S tier at all. I think top of B, bottom of A is where I'd put her. Same with Absorbing Man, so this is fair. Zabu's better than Sarah? Yeah. That's basically what's going on here. Baron, bottom of C. He's fringe. He's fringe. I honestly probably would have put him top of D, but I think he's bottom of C. After playing with him today, he felt pretty good. Bottom of C, top of D. I think that's where he goes. Good with Ronan, that's about it. He kind of just bricks your opponent's hand a little bit. I think he needs, he's not awful. He bricks one card. I think he's better than people give credit for. He's definitely better than Quake, definitely better than Black Bolt, right? He's a 2/3 Iceman on crack. Yeah, kind of. Recency bias, absolutely. Okay, Captain Marvel is a solid B card, I would say, but bottom of B, top of C. She is not A. I feel like she could fit into a lot of lists, and she's fine. She's not A tier, though. She's not C tier. She's bottom of B, top of C. I think that's it. I don't think people can't really complain about this, right? She's good. You need a card, you can throw her in. I think one big problem is like some of her interactions are awkward, like with Dracula, with multiple Captain Marvels. I don't know if they're gonna figure that out and fix that, but yeah, so many, why didn't my Captain Marvel move posts? It's true. Alex is gonna be pissed. Did Alex put her S tier? He's wrong. All right, Black Widow. I think Black Widow's top of C. I think a lot of people might hate Black Widow and think she's higher than C because she's good in the Spider-Man Darkhawk deck, which is just the nuttiest deck at the moment. If Darkhawk was on this list, he would be S tier. The thing is, you need all these other cards to make her work. And I feel like generally, she might even be worse than Leader. I think the new Leader is probably still better than Black Widow. Also, I feel like this is good with Hazmat. Pretty nice. Daredevil, B. Top of B? Top of B. Maybe A? Bottom of A, top of B? I'll put him ahead of Cerebro, sure. Yeah, he's AB. AB. AB for sure. Doesn't feel bad to throw in any list. Works pretty good in Cerebro lists. Turn 5, Ongoing Destroyer, anything you're trying to play Professor X, also pretty good. You guys think A? Definitely A. I think he's bottom of A, top of B. There doesn't stream on Wednesdays anymore. I ran him out of business. He can literally win games. Yeah, you could say that about any card though. I think he's bottom of A, top of B. Colleen is fringe as heck. M'Baku can literally win games, yeah. Maybe down here. Brood S tier literally only works in Surfer. You must have forgot about Cerebro too, as well as Patriot. Mid C, yeah, this is like mid C, kind of. Our C is gonna be very long. Skip Brood on Token Shop, yeah, that's pretty good. Behind Hazmat, should we do this? This seems okay. She's great to discard Swarm if you're like in an early discard sort of thing, but other than that, I don't think she's that used, right? Crossbones, fantastic with Zabu, but other than that, I feel like he's fringe. Oh, our C is getting real long. I feel like he's fringe. So like mid C. It's getting a bit hairy here to choose between these. But yeah, I think Crossbones is great if you're using Zabu. He'd be D without Zabu, it's true. So we'll leave him there. Deadpool, I think is kind of bad. I love Deadpool, but he's bad. He's bad, not that bad. Maybe here. Low B, you guys are coping. You guys are coping. He's mid C, if not bottom C. Amazing into Alter. With the proper locations, he's definitely exploitable, but I don't think he's good. Even in Destroy decks, I'm cutting Deadpool because he requires so much build around, and then you have to get him early. You don't have Deadpool on 1, he's kind of just meh. Wolverine. I think Wolverine's just better. If Deadpool came back on the board, he'd be great, but that'd also be busted. Killmonger last turn, you're dead. You're done. Yeah. All right, let's do Death. A. Death is A, not S. Is she very good? She's very good. The Wave Death Bayro stuff has fallen out of popularity a little bit, but I do still think Death is great, especially because of location abuse. 012, easy S. It's just hard to get it to happen sometimes. Debris, I think is B. I think Debris is B. I think better than Titania. I think she's good in a lot of lists. Mid B. Mid B seems okay. As we add more cards, maybe she'll fall down, but I Debris is solid. Good in Patriot. Good at countering Galactus. It's not bad. It's not bad. Brood S, I'm going home. You can leave, that's fine. Brood is very good. Brood is in several top tier decks. You guys are coping if you don't think Brood is good. You can argue Brood is top of A, bottom of S. That's fine. That's where I put Brood. All right, Destroyer. I think Destroyer's B, but like low B, above Titania, around Debris-ish. It's just mid B. Destroyer, very decent, much better at 16, yeah. Kind of goes with some Dracula decks, goes with Ongoing Destroyer, which is just a solid tier 2 deck. So I feel like Destroyer's fine. Destroyer's ass. Destroyer's not ass. He's just not great. And he's very niche, where you need to play him, yeah, in like ongoing decks. Ongoing decks, even in Destroy decks, he's just okay. Like we were playing him earlier and he was just fine. All right, we gotta speed it up. Falcon, I think, is mid of C, very fringe. Falcon is good in bounce, but bounce is just not great. It's maybe at bottom of C. Yeah, I think a little worse than these. I think Falcon kind of enables Human Torch a little bit, but it needs a lot more testing. Drax, the buff didn't really help Drax too much. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I think he's bottom of C as well. Maybe around the Falcon area. Falcon X Beast. I think Beast is a lot more flexible. D for Drax. You guys think Drax is D? All right, I won't argue. I think he's better than Black Bolt though. He's kind of okay in like a Zabu deck, but there's so many better situations. Or yeah, better cards than Drax. Doc Ock. Doc Ock is like bottom of B, top of A, maybe top of C. I think top of C might be the place for him. Bottom of B, top of C. He's good in the right situation. I've just been shanked too many times. Even like Shuri into Doc Ock, you think would win a lane, but you can just get shanked and ruin your life. And it feels bad. Mid B, I think top of C is fair. Top of C is fair. Electro, top of B for Electro, I would say. Electro is very, very good. Very good. Maybe bottom of A. He just enables so many things like Galactus, which is hard to gauge. But he enables ramp decks. Ramp decks are good. He's good with destroy decks. You guys think bottom of A? A lot of people are yelling bottom of A. Ramp decks are very strong. Brood is S, but Death is A? Yeah, absolutely. Top of B? I'll put him top of B. I'll leave him here. I don't know why I acted like that was something like contrasting opinion to mine. That's actually where I had him. Top of B is fair. Electro Rogue is nasty. Gambit. Top of C? Mid C? I think maybe like a little less played than Black Widow. I feel like he's mid C. He's mid C. He's good in a fringe situation. Discard decks sometimes don't even run him though. The Exodia decks, which people love to see on the YouTube shorts, he's just not that common. So I think mid C is fine. Ghost Rider is maybe top of B. Bottom A? Bottom A, top of B. It's hard. It's hard. Top A. We'll do top A. I think better than Absorbing even. He is so good. You sift something big like Giganto over here, and then you just yoink him back down. Could do it on the last turn. Kind of like a Hela backup, but no one actually runs Hela because Hela's bad. Actually, let's put Hela at C, mid C. I think a lot of people are going to be upset about this, but Hela's not very good. She's fun and she's great when you pull her off, but I think she's mid C. I think she's better than Cage or maybe like right below around here. It's just too much randomness. I think Hela decks were a lot more popular before, but she's just not great. And there's so many things that can go wrong. You have to play her maybe behind Invisible Woman. You have to hope she doesn't get discarded. Maybe she's above Gambit actually. RNG, you can control it enough for it to be good. I'd say she can go in like a tier 3 or a C, tier C deck. So she shouldn't be more than this. 67% win rate when played. That is not a stat, the only stat you should be looking at. Patriot, I think Patriot's cracked. I don't think he's as good as these in the right deck, but he's like mid A, mid to high A. The thing, like Red Skull and all these other cards, I think are even better than like Doom, but you need Shuri, so it's a bit weird. Below Sarah, I think Patriot's mid A. He's mid A. He's not as good as Death. He's not as good as Dracula, but he does enable Patriot decks, obviously. Where's Mystique? Mystique needs to get on here. I think Mystique is better than Patriot, better than Doom. Top of A, better than Death. Low S? Top of A, low S. You guys think low S? We could do low S. I won't argue with this. Maybe even better than Brood, to be honest. Maybe better than Brood. You know what? Yeah, better than Brood. Very flexible. Very flexible. Gets used in Patriot. If you're running a Patriot deck, you need Mystique. She's also good in Zoo because you can copy Blue Marvel, for example. So cracked in Dino decks. Also good in negative decks, right? Running Iron Man. Darkhawk, yeah, definitely S tier. Do we think she's even better than She-Hulk? The more I think about it, if you have Darkhawk, she's kind of cracked. And Cerebro, yeah. Essential and Cerebro. Essential in so many decks. Yeah, we'll put her there. Maybe better than She-Hulk. We'll just drop She-Hulk. Giganto. Giganto's a bit fringe. I might put him top of C. And this is because Giganto on his own is not very good. He needs a lot of surrounding cards, and he's not like a deck enabler. But if you discard him and ghost write him, that's where he becomes very good. He only comes from winning the raft. He's very good with Dracula, and he's very good with Ghost Rider Sif combo. So I think I put him top of C. Gotta move on. Goose, man, Goose was so much better when Zabu was not a thing. I think Goose would have been A tier, but I think he's been dropped to mid B. Zabu ruined Goose, man. Goose used to be cracked. Goose was like my favorite card because I was like, this is basically you win a lane card for many decks. Like Cerebro, he basically won his own lane. It really sucks that Zabu's around for Goose. C tier. Okay, well, I'll agree to bottom of B. If Zabu gets nerfed, I think Goose will shoot back up. Surfer, Surfer does hurt Goose. That's true. I forgot about Surfer kind of messing it up. So maybe it's top of C, bottom of B. Goose should be based on original cost, not discounted. Yeah, that'd be a good buff for Goose. Did we do top of C? Valkyrie reserve. Congratulations, I love Valkyrie. I think Valkyrie's correct. Hellcow is C, man. Hellcow is not great. The thing is, Hellcow is good with Hella, but it's just too random. Mid C, maybe even better than Hella because it could be used in, what's his name? APOC lists. Nando Loop with the Prime. Thank you, Nando. Thank you, welcome. Good with Lockjaw, that's true. Oh, Lockjaw's top tier. Lockjaw discard, Lockjaw's A. I think better than Death. S for fun. Lockjaw's fantastic. If you get Lockjaw early on, you're pretty happy. I got Lockjaw early on. He's great in like ramp decks. Thanos, I don't think I want to consider the fact that he can be used with Thanos, but I don't even think he's great in Thanos decks. I think he's okay. Lockjaw can screw you? Generally not. Better than Sarah? Maybe? Actually, maybe he's down here. Yeah, you might be right. This is actually like mid A. I feel like Absorbing Man's bottom of A, and everything else is mid A, and then like Dracula's top A. You think he's better than Sarah? I think he's right here. Drac might be S. Drac is top of A, bottom S. Better than Task? I don't think so. I think this is a hard call. I think he's mid to top A, and this is actually mid. And since I put Sarah in mid, I think he's mid. Invisible Woman, I think is getting worse and worse. I would put her like mid C, but better than Hellcow, maybe like down here. I am probably coping because I do like her a good amount in like Cerebro decks as a Mystique, not a Mystique, an Enchantress counter. Because if you put Cerebro behind Invisible Woman, Enchantress will eat the Invisible Woman and not the Cosmo. So I think she's mid to top C. I think this is fair. And she's good with Patriot. She's not bad with Patriot, but I don't think she's fantastic. Jane Foster is great with Lockjaw decks, but I think she's actually bottom B, top of A, or top of C. So maybe she's better than Goose. Top C, B, low B, C, B. I think we all agree it's C, B. I just don't know where on here. She's great with Thor, right? So maybe we should rank Thor. I think Thor is better than her though. I think Thor is just a good card. I might put Thor above Debris here and B. Thor is just a 310 sometimes. You guys think A? You think he's better than Electro? I think he's top of B. Easy A? Better than Cerebro? I'm coping. He's not better than Daredevil. I think he's top of B. It looks like he's like mid B based on visuals, but I think he's top. Juggernaut? Oh my god, dude. I think the more I play with Juggernaut, the more I like Juggernaut. I think Juggernaut is definitely better than like Titania, Debris, Thor. Bottom of A, high B. I might put him here. I think he's high B, low A. Kingpin's bad. Kingpin's bad. Might be D tier. I think Kingpin's trash. You wish Kingpin was good. I wish he was good too, but I think he's bad. Worse than Drax? Yeah, he's worse than Drax. Maybe worse than Black Bolt. How's Baron Mordo bottom of C? He might be top of D. I like him. Kingpin Arrow. It's not very good. It's so situational. He's not worse than Baron? I don't know. I think it's worse. Fist Tower is better than Kingpin. Yeah, it's because if Kingpin was when a card moved there, it'd be great, but it's on turn 6. It's just, you can play around it very easily. A lot of people think like Cloak works. Well, if you play Baron and then you cloak it last turn, it's not how it works. Or if you cloak it and then you Kingpin, did I say Baron? You cloak it and then you Kingpin, it's not very good. Kingpin doesn't have the effect of Fisk Towers. Yeah, it's different. Kingpin's trash. All right, Magic. Magic is bottom B, top C. S or A? No. Bottom B, top C. B? Mid B. I think we can agree bottom B. Some people are saying mid B. Better than Jane Foster. I think I actually agree with that. Yeah, maybe even better than Goose. Better than Marvel. Yeah, I think this is right. An extra turn. How many 8-cubers have you guys lost to your Magic getting stormed? I guess Storm's a bit less common these days. And Witch is a lot less common, but I've lost a lot of 8-cubers to her ruining my life. Not old enough to remember Magic on 6. Yeah, they didn't want me to play this game. I asked to get in early and they didn't want me in. Magneto! A tier, A tier, A tier. Better than Sarah? Maybe right below Sarah Lockjaw. Maybe below Ghost Rider. Maybe right there. Maybe right there. High A? He's very good. Better than Lockjaw? Better than Ghost Rider. Do you think he's better than Ghost Rider? All right, we can put him here. He's really good, but I feel like he's low A. He's mid to low A. He's not S tier. He's just a great card that can fit into a lot of decks. A worse arrow, yeah, kinda. He's hard to play around. It's true, it's true. Maximus, A. Probably right around that Magneto Sarah area. I think he's a little more flexible. I think he's mid A. Screws up Surfer decks. Magneto, he does, yeah. He screws up Zabu, but Maximus is very flexible. I think Maximus is kind of awkward sometimes. If your opponent's playing Zabu and they like dump and you refill, kind of awkward. He does counter Dracula, it's true. But I feel like that doesn't happen too often. Top of B, A with support. Maximus? No, I think he's mid A. Mid to low A. How does he counter Dracula? He puts more cards in their hand that they think they may not want. Slightly weaker after Zabu, yeah. All right, Mr. Negative. I think Mr. Negative is B-ish. I don't think he's top of B. I think he's low B. Maybe better than Magic. Maybe here. So the thing about Mr. Negative is you need to get him relatively early, and then you also need to draw the good cards after. So I would say he's a bit, he's good at winning 8 cubes, but he also loses a lot very often. You just have to nut every time. You have to get Psylocke into negative and then draw your Iron Man, but not before. Don't draw your Iron Man before that. So he's a retreat king. Yeah, you have to be very comfortable with retreating. That's why I'm putting him at bottom of B. He does enable some cracked decks. Negative Surfer is pretty good, but there's other Surfer decks that are more consistent. So I think that's a good placement. Mojo's fallen out of popularity because a lot of people are not filling the board anymore. So I think Mojo's like top of C. Maybe below leader at this point. It's just, you don't see that much Mojo. And it's hard because you need your opponent to fill their side of the board. You can't really play Mojo until the last turn. I used to love Mojo with like Sarah decks back in the day, but that was before Zabu and Surfer became a thing. So I think Mojo's just top of C. Crossbone's better than Mojo. Mojo's less played than Black Widow. We could do this here. I'm okay with this. Moon Knight. Moon Knight's C tier, mid to bottom. He's probably around this Hellcow area. I do think he's better than Hellcow. Discarding a card from your opponent's hand, it could nut, but it could also mess you up, right? So I feel like he kind of just goes in those APOC lists. He's just not great. Worse than Colleen? You think he's worse than Colleen? Ghost Rider Ian Kella, they kind of nutted them. It's not very common. You kind of just got unlucky. Mysterio, when he was 5, he was cracked. Now that he's 4, I think he's pretty good. He's probably just top of C. Around this Doc Ock Giganto area. I would say he's better than Giganto. You think A? I think he's bottom of B, top of C. We can put a B tier. Put him bottom of B. He just doesn't see that much play anymore. And it's because of Surfer decks, right? Like, he was good with Bishop, Sarah, Miracle decks, and he's just not there anymore. He was good in Carnage decks. People used to run him so they could eat the clone. He's just not seen that much anymore, though. Worse than Goose. Yeah, I think so. I think so. They're similar, but I think Goose is slightly better. Goose is actually not played. Goose is played. He's just worse because of Zabu. Same thing with Mysterio. Nick Fury. Bottom of C. Bottom of C. Better than Baron, maybe. Mid B, what? No. He might be D. He's like edging on top of D, bottom of C, just like Baron is. You guys think D? You think he's worse than Baron? He's D. Okay, all right. Well, I think he's okay with some Dino decks, but I feel like Helicarrier is better. Do that. Oh God, I gotta go fast. All right, Omega Red. I feel like top of C for Omega Red, but honestly, I don't think he's that great. Like top to mid C, I feel like. Maybe even below Black Widow. I think this is valid. Low C, you think he's worse than that? A lot of people mess around with him. Crossbones level? All right, yeah, you know what? I agree with that. He's like around Crossbones. Maybe Crossbones even better. A for style points. He's just too easy. I think Polaris is A tier. A tier, right around Maximus level. Maybe right below Maximus. I think maybe Sarah above. Maybe behind Magneto. This seems okay. Below max. They're all kind of in the same area over here. I think Polaris is very good. 3, 5, very good. Sometimes even better than Maximus because you just don't want your opponent drawing things, and you can like move an armor. You can move something that doesn't want to be somewhere into like a bad location. She's a great tech card, but also just great in general. Psylocke is I think right around here. Again, around this Maximus area. Polaris is Magneto's daughter. Psylocke is great. Enables a lot of decks. Behind Zola, yeah. You could Psylocke and then put a big card, right? You have a bunch of 5 costs. You play Psylocke, you play a 5-on-4. Also enables Galactus, so you're seeing a lot of that. Just a very, very good card in general. I would say she's mid, the bottom A, because I do think like all these other cards are better than her, but she's very, very good. Very good. Enables a lot of things. Quinjet. I think Quinjet is top of B. Maybe behind Cerebro. 4 Cerebro? These are around the same, I would say. The best 2-drop. Has really good power. Essential for Thanos. I don't want to account for Thanos too much. He's too fringe. But I think Quinjet is top of B, bottom of A. I'm just worried about Quinjet getting Killmongered. I feel like that happens a lot to me for sometimes. Overrated? I think top of B, bottom of A is solid. Quinjet's great if you're moon girling, so like in Dino decks and stuff like that. Also, what else? Helicarrier decks. I like Quinjet a lot. Quinjet's pretty good. Rescue would be top of C? I don't know. I haven't messed around with the new leader. I feel a bit weird about the leader placement. Maybe it's like mid C. Below Black Widow, mid B. Shangbait. I almost, yeah, she gets shanked. It's kind of rough. You just play it. I wish it was unshankable. Rescue was a super strong card, and I used to say like, or play Gooserescue, but this shit's just fallen out of the times. Rockslide is bottom of B, top of A, or top of C. The thing is, Rockslide is actually cracked with Zabu. Would be like mid B, but without Zabu. So maybe it is mid B, mid B to bottom B. Maybe put him here. Thing is, nobody played Rockslide before Zabu and Darkhawk. Absolutely nobody. So maybe it's bottom B, top of C. If you don't have Zabu, you're probably not running him. You're just not. You're actually just not. If you don't have Darkhawk or Zabu. So maybe it's top of C. We'll do that. It's very fringe. Very, very fringe. But in the right deck, absolutely cracked. Rogue. Rogue is an interesting card. I think bottom of B for Rogue. Rogue's really good. Rogue is really good in the right situation, but I feel like she's better than Super Scroll, right? I think bottom would be top of C. Really good in Surfer decks. She can win you the game, but not always. Really good against Dino decks, but sometimes your opponent isn't running an ongoing and she's just bad, right? So I think bottom of B is proper. Ronin. Ronin kind of goes hand in hand with Baron. I might put him bottom of C. I think these two work well together. He's not D. He's not D. He's bottom of C. I think he can easily become a good card, but for now he's kind of bad. I did play a lot of this earlier. Feels all right. It just feels like a really bad version of Dino. Everyone empties their hand. Some people keep large hands, and you can kind of make them have awkward hands, like with Baron, but I think these kind of go hand in hand. Bottom of C, top of D. Works well versus Dino. He should be like a 5-5 or a 5-4 with +2, so he can beat Dino. He should be able to beat Dino. Come on. Master Mold. All right, Spider-Man. Spider-Man. I think he's kind of a similar situation where if you have Absorbing Man and Zabu, he is A. He is A with those. But if you don't, maybe it's just top of B. Like, I don't feel like you should spend your tokens on him, you know? I think he's like... This is top of A. If you have if you're playing a Zabu deck or a Darkhawk deck, he's up here. He's up here. Like, you want him in that deck. But I think here, without Zabu, he's kind of just good. You don't play him in many decks unless you have Zabu. So I think he's around here. Mid B. Before Zabu, you didn't see play. So I'm kind of putting him right in the middle. You know? I think that's fair. Disruption and filling lanes. Hood, man, Hood used to be so good. I feel like Hood has dropped in popularity because there's a lot less death decks. I think he's mid to low B. I think he's maybe around here, like a little bit less than Quinjet, I would say. Hood is coming back. Hood might be a lot better as more people start experimenting with the new Wolverine. I think high to mid B is kind of where he is right now. I did buy Hood with collector's tokens myself because I really wanted him. But that was back when Deathwave was a lot more prominent. And he's great in Deathwave. Works with Valkyrie and Viper, that's true. So I think he's a solid B. Solid mid B. Yeah. Typhoid Mary, dude, I think this card is cracked if you have Sauron and Shuri. But without that, I think she's like C. Top of C. Probably around here. I think she goes in more decks than Giganto does. Because if you have 0, but maybe she's around this Doc Ock Giganto territory. Enchantress and 0. You got Enchantress, you got 0, you got Sauron, you got Typhoid Mary. I think I have what is, I could be wrong, I could be coping, but I think I have like one of the best decks in the game with my my Sorry deck. But you do need a lot of cards to play around here. But she is, in that deck, I would not replace her. Luke Cage, yeah, she's good with Cage. Spending tokens on S and A tier, yeah. Like the top of S and A, I think that's fair. It's valid. Ultron! I think Ultron is correct with Patriot. If you have Patriot, Ultron's good. If you don't, he's trash. I think he's mid-B. I think he's mid-B. I think he's better than Spider-Man, maybe even better than Hood. Why is Brood S? Because he's in like 4 top tier decks and he's an enabler in them. I think I might be coping. I might be, it's true. But I feel like Patriot and then doing Ultron is just cracked. If you do Patriot and then you do Mystique and then you do Blue Marvel and then you do Ultron, you just win. You just win. Saying Ultron is better than Hood. I put him right below Hood. I think he's really good. I think Hood's a lot more flexible, but I think he's very good. And then you get Killmonger, yeah. Well, no, not with this. You can play around Killmonger. You just throw priority. Thank you, Licious. I appreciate that. 3 minutes to what? I have to record something off stream. Venom is kind of bad, you guys. He's fun with Bub. I think he needs a lot more experimentation now that Wolverine changes has gone through. But I think he's mid-C. Maybe below Hazmat, above Crossbones. I feel like this is a solid spot. Behind Gambit, definitely behind Gambit. And behind Luke and Hazmat seems about fair to me. Viper is probably around this area as well. She kind of goes in the clutter decks. She's pretty good with like Galactus decks, maybe. So I feel like she's around here. Wasp cracked in Valkyrie decks, good with Patriot decks, good with Lockjaw decks. Top of B, bottom of A. I think it's top of B because I don't think she's better than Juggernaut. Maybe like around this area. These are all like top of B. I feel like she's solid here. Wave. Oh, Wave is good. Wave is really good. Bottom of A? Better than Juggernaut? I think she's A, right? Better than Absorbing, man. Better, not as good as Lockjaw. Lockjaw better. Bottom of A, maybe above Ghost Rider. She enables so many things. She-Hulk, Arrow. You want Wave in there. Wave's just cracked. Also with Death, right? So maybe they kind of go here. Might be mid-A. Mid-A. I think it actually might be mid-A. Fucks up opponent's last turn. Yeah, you can use her as a control tool. Is Hobgoblin on the list? Hobgoblin's pull 2, right? High A? Yeah, I think she might actually be up here. She's used so often. Maybe even better than Death. I feel like Death only becomes good when you have Wave, actually. So we should probably put it here. Wong. Wong's good with Surfer. But I think Wong's top of B. To bottom of mid B. Top of B. Around the Cerebro area, maybe. Wong is so easy to shut down. It might even be behind Wasp for me. Wolfbane, Ironheart, yeah, it's good in negative decks, but it's easy to shut down. I think a lot less people are using Cosmo these days, though. You Cosmo it, or you Enchantress it, and then you just get shut down so easily. Wong and negative equal power. This might be fair. I don't know about like my Green Goblin Titania placement anymore, but I feel like Wong is here in this mid-B area, and this is all mid-B. Yellow Jacket is so fringe, man. He's gotta be C, but I feel like around this Leader Black Widow area, I might be coping. I do like him a decent amount in like Cerebro decks, but yeah, he's like mid-C, maybe better than Mojo a little bit. Cerebro, I really enjoyed playing Yellow Jacket into a lane and then just starting to play your cards finally. He gets the buff. He's kind of okay with like Valkyrie, so maybe we'll start seeing more Yellow Jacket. That happens. Zero is top of B, bottom of A. Zero is an enabler, man. He's actually cracked. Maybe top of B. You guys think A, bottom of A? This area, easy A. We'll do bottom of A. You a coffee drinker? I am. I love coffee. I think right here is fine. Top of B, bottom of A. This is in my deck that I think's the best. Sorry. So good with Red Skull. So good with Typhoid Mary. So good with Ebony Maw. So good with Lizard. In a Sauron deck, he's just cracked. He's cracked. He's just very good. All right, Miles Morales, I believe he's like mid-C. I feel like a lot of people like him. Maybe around here. Low C? Mid to low? Maybe, I think he gets played more than Venom. Maybe like here below Hazmat Luke Cage. Moon Girling this, like in movement decks. I think all the movement decks, like all these cards, Miles, Torch, Dagger, could all just shoot to the top really quickly with one good movement card printed. Like a Heimdall, but it moves to the right or something. It'd be crazy. But yeah, sometimes I used to run Miles in, like if I'm running Polaris, might as well run Miles, you know? Sometimes it's kind of like that, but this is great. I think this is a solid list. Where are the cards? This is it. This is it. This is the full tier list. This is pool 3, you guys. This is a series 3 pool 3 tier list with the recent additions of She-Hulk, Titania, Absorbing Man, and whatnot. I think this is fair. I think we did okay. We got Strong Guy. He's pool 2, right? Luke Cage, yeah, Luke Cage, a new card. I think this is fair. Again, everyone's gonna have a different opinion. There is no definite list. No definitive list. There's a lot of opinion. There's not enough stats to really call anything. Trash, yeah, this might be the worst tier list ever made. Or it might be the best, who knows? Much better than the Cozy Malt one-drop list. I kind of want to do a one-drop list as well. I was thinking about doing it. I feel like it's fun. We'll see how this performs. It will be a YouTube video, but I do think these are good cards. A lot of people, well, maybe I'll go over these again. S tier, Arrow. I think Arrow might be in her own league, to be honest. If they're S+, she's S+, but this is why she's at the top of S. Mystique is used everywhere, enables so many things. She-Hulk is cracked. Top of A, bottom, I think she's better than Dracula, so I've kind of put her here. Honestly, like something like this, I think is also fair. I think this is fair. Or like even something like this might be fair, but we're gonna go with this. Brood enables Cerebro too. Patriot, Silver Surfer, most importantly of all, which is a top tier deck. So yeah, there's a lot more S tier cards. I tried to do this based off of just their overall use, but it's hard, man. It's hard. Wait, who? Crystal should be in a tier of her own. Agatha's worse than Crystal, I think. Cerebro won't forgive you for putting a B tier. I love Cerebro, man. I love Cerebro. People don't know yet, man. I'll show you all. You'll all see how good Cerebro is when I bring Cerebro 3 to all the tournaments. I'm gonna be S over Drac. The thing is, I tried to do that, like with Shuri, I think Arnim, Taskmaster, Red Skull are all S tier in a Shuri deck, right? But this is trying to be an overall assessment. So I think maybe I'll do another tier list on just top decks. Sarah below Death. They're kind of in the same league, but I do think Death is slightly better because of Zabu. Again, this is all just an opinion. You might think a card's better, and you might be wrong. I might be wrong, but whatever. Agatha should be B or C tier. She has an actual deck. Okay, you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong.